Hey, yo, thanks for tuning in to another hashtag for the shoe podcast. Coach Frank Reich gave us some injury report news yesterday. He confirmed the status of Castanzo's knee. We saw Castanzo exit the game after the second drive after we scored those 14 points. He suffered a sprained MCL, and the team is still trying to figure out when the timetable for his return is. Reich just said it's difficult to determine the return of these injuries, but we saw that on Sunday's game that the Colts did need him a lot. We saw Philip Rivers get pressured more than he usually does. We saw him fidget more in the pocket than he usually does. Um, but if Costanzo were to miss this game, that means LaRaven Clark would be forced to take his place against three-time Defensive Player of the Year J.J. Watt. We know that would be a lethal matchup for LaRaven Clark, who is a fifth-year veteran, but he hasn't shown any signs of um, promise that he can take in a role that big and play well at a consistent level. We saw him take Anthony Cassandra's spot versus the Cleveland Browns as well, which we also didn't fare well too, as Philip Rivers had two interceptions, one of them being a pick six. So you can obviously um discover a pattern that when Raven Clark fills in at the left tackle position, Philip Rivers feels more rushed than he usually does. You could see Philip Rivers forcing deep throws that didn't need to be forced. Um, and you saw him, yeah, as mentioned before, he was fidgeting more in the pocket than he usually does. So that's why the status of Costanzo is greatly important to this team. So hopefully we do have some good news by the end of the week, and hopefully for Reich or Ballard confirms that he can play for us um this week at Houston. Next, another offensive lineman that has missed last week's game was Ryan Kelly. However, there is good news with Ryan Kelly. Wright confirmed that he's making good progress, and they're fairly optimistic that he's going to play this Sunday versus the Texans. He missed last Sunday versus the Titans due to a neck injury, which held him back. All but even for that, we're not 100% sure if that he would be able to return, but most likely, uh, Reich saying that he should be good to go versus the Texans. And for the COVID-19 slash injury report list, we don't have much good news there. JT, Danico, and JT did join Buckner and Danico on the COVID-19 slash injury reserve list, which was unfortunate as he is our premier power rusher. We saw him with that dominant performance versus the Green Bay Packers, week 11. But he was placed on the COVID-19 list due to close contact. We did confirm that he did not have COVID. He was just a close contact. He was tested. He was not tested. There's no result of his tests. We haven't been given that information yet. But for Buckner and Danico, there is still no timetable for their return too. Hopefully, the only thing Reich did say was that they're making good progress as they should. We know that those two men are extremely tough. They're also very critical to the D line, and we need them. They play a critical role in stopping the run game, which is why we have one of the best running games in the league. We saw that the absence of DeForest Buckner and Denico Autry did play a pivotal role in Derrick Henry's performance. He did have 170 plus yards with three touchdowns, which I completely wasn't expecting. For the full breakdown, please check out my Colts Titans preview, post game review. But that just showed how lackluster our D line is without those two those two players on the team. So hopefully we do have some good news by the end of the weeks. Hopefully some of those players will be activated to the active roster. So until then, we just wait and thanks for tuning in, Colts.